I'm Pam, and I am dealing with a very dry desert right now. I have kind of a lot of succulent and cacti and other desert type plants that I really don't talk about very much. So let's talk about some. We're using my plant lights for actual like filming light today, so I can't look up because I'll be blinded. If you are afraid of succulents, or you feel like you are a succulent murderer, or you have an otherwise unhealthy disgust for succulents, my guess is you are either overwatering them or you're not giving them enough sun, or both. There's a reason I don't talk about succulents very often, and that's because I don't feel completely confident in them, and so I don't like to give, we have discovered Pam getting in her own head right now, because in my brain I'm going, I am not good at succulents, I don't want to show my succulents because I haven't figured them out yet, but I'm sitting here right now at eye level with most of these guys, and I'm realizing that I am full of shit because they look pretty fucking good to me. I mean, hi, we're growing away. We're doing all the things. We have babies coming out of babies. Coming out of babies. Coming out of like, yeah, I'm full of crap, and I am going to show you what I do with these. Let's meet some of my favorites, huh? I want to start off by saying, if you are new to succulents, I am going to recommend a Haworthia. They, in my opinion, are incredibly, it's actually what this bug guy is, and these are very thirsty at the moment, so they're a little bit thinner than usual. Succulents in general need a whole lot of light, like a lot of light. Like, that's why I have these insane lights in here. Light, even though they're in a window, it's not enough, period. And they'd be dead, because that's what succulents do when they A, get too much water, or B, don't get enough light. That being said, a Haworthia can get away with not having as much. They actually can survive pretty well in like a well-lit fluorescent office. As long as it's getting that fluorescent or LED light, they generally do okay. But generally any window is going to be okay for these guys. Ignore my sticky traps at the moment. We're having a gnat issue. Well, we were. I think it's okay now. But, oh, hello. The dog is here. They just kind of pop up from the surface like little swamp creatures. And, you know, they're spiky and they're awesome. And I've had these like a long time now, and they just keep on going. And there's a million kinds. Oh my god, I can't believe how dry this guy is, and it's still fine. Mostly and generally they're spiky. Some of them also incredibly thirsty. They've almost got like a transparent window situation going through there. This one, however, I have thought it was an aloe all this time, but apparently I am mistaken, and it is Haworthia. I love this little guy. How cute is that? It's freaking adorable. And it had like flowers and shit for a while. I actually do some succulent arrangements for mostly companies. And when I do, I like to do Haworthia and basically do a mostly Haworthia based arrangement, because they're a lot easier for the client to take care of. You know, I'll put it in terracotta. I've got a super chunky soil in there, and I tell them, you know, soak it like every 3 weeks. Probably a month would be fine. Just depends on, you know, if it's outside, they will need to be watered more often. Anyway, I've noticed you can go a lot longer than you think you can. So I don't stress it too much if I forget. I just try to make sure that I don't do it too often, because they store it in the leaves. You give it to the roots and they don't have anywhere for it to go. Leaves are already full, then you're gonna bust them. So that is what you have to be careful of. And if we're looking at favorites, I do have some, and this is one. This is the copper spoon. You can probably figure out why they call it that. Look at that. Holy crap, that's gorgeous. It is just like the prettiest thing in person. I am obsessed with it. This is a kalanchoe. It's a type of kalanchoe, which a lot of succulents are in that family. They're not that difficult. This new growth is so cute in here. Just plenty of light, which this one could get more, they could all get more. And I just water. I do not have these on a schedule at all. I water them when I think about it, which ends up being about once a month probably. I mean, I'll sometimes give them sips in between, but that's not helpful information at all, so ignore that, I guess. I just come through and I notice that some of these leaves are feeling really thin, which you know is a sign because succulents store water in their leaves. So if they are plump and firm, they're full of water. You don't need to water them. But if they are getting real thin, then you know that they're draining energy from there now and not here. So it's time to put some in the bottom there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, what other calanchoes are there? Well, there's the jade plant, which they all grow the same. They all grow the same. Then we got jade, we got a panda plant back here that's making me crazy that I'm gonna chop the top off of because for some reason it's between grow lights and it's just not getting any light. And it's doing this really cool thing called etoliation, which means it's looking desperately for light. Again, even though it's in the middle of two giant grow lamps. So I think what I'm gonna do actually on this one, and you can do this too, is just chop the top off. And you can put that top back in the soil to see if it'll root. It probably will. Or, you know, you can throw it away, but it'll grow back. See how we've got like an offshoot growth just coming off the side here? So if I cut right above that, you can see there's already growth happening. Like, it's just gonna branch out, and that's actually a thing that I'm definitely going to do. And I might even do it for this one at some point, but not today because I'm scared. So, I could do a whole other episode on aloes, so we're not going to talk about them today. The thing that helped me was realizing that I actually needed to give them more water than I thought. I was so afraid of overwatering them that I was actually underwatering them because they're already in super well draining soil. So I was watering them just a little bit, enough to really just kind of maybe dampen everything a little bit. And then the water would be out and gone, and then I would put it back. And I wasn't letting it saturate. At this point, I've gotten to the point where my favorite method for these, when I have the time and energy to actually do it, is to get a big ass bucket, fill it with water, and stick this all the way in until it stops bubbling. Like all the way in, like above the dirt level. Let it sit in there until it stops bubbling, and it'll take a while, sometimes a long time. And then take it out, let it finish draining completely, then put it away. Also, terracotta is your best friend, especially if you're an overwaterer, because it's gonna take out the extra stuff and it's gonna leach it right out of the dirt itself. If you're really not sure if your succulent is ready, there's generally a few ways to tell. You know, they're gonna get a little bit shriveled looking. The ones that have bigger leaves themselves, or, you know, more clearly defined leaves like this, they start feeling real thin and pliable, flimsy. You know, those are thirsty. Strings of things. This is George. Strings of things, they like water a lot. You just need to be really careful with them because they also tend to get real full up here. And I know people like to have them full up here and all of that. But when they're too full, they start getting, they basically start getting moldy because they're not getting any air circulation. A lot of people say, you know, you need to bottom water them. I am not. I think that all that's doing is keeping this dry up here, and it's preventing the circulation issue. That's all that's doing. But if you like to bottom water, go for it. I don't like to bottom water these in particular because the roots are so fine. They really are not very deep. Some are, but most of them are not. I mean, this is a bigger pot than it needs because it's going to be in here forever. I took a chance on that, but it's working, so we're going with it. So yeah, I don't like to bottom water because I don't actually want it to be soaked down here. But those are my thoughts on that. If bottom water, if you like it, do it. These are getting a little crazy there, George. I don't even know where to put. Okay. Okay, let's see. I think that's about it. Like last year I decided that I needed to downsize all of my succulents. And so I had these all in separate pots, and I decided to stick everybody in pots together, and I'm really loving it, I'll be honest. I freaking love these. This is Lucy and Ricky. We have some Thirsty. Oh, the bear claw, the bear paws, and the variegated bear paw. Which, again, these are babies. They basically had to start from scratch because I kept them all. Because I watered them one too many times, and that'll do it. I really love these fire stick thing guys. They are just starting to like go crazy just in the past month. It's been pretty fun. I like that. That is kind of a quick rundown of some of my favorite succulents. Let me know about the succulent question. I'm curious. I could be totally wrong and you're killing them for completely other reasons, which always a possibility. So, but yeah, let me know if maybe I'm onto something. I'll talk to y'all soon.